The spooky season is finally upon us, and it's time to talk about some horror movies. For me, spooky movies set the tone of the season, so I want to share some of my favorites with you so you can enjoy them as well. Some you might have seen before, but most likely there will at least be a few gems on this list that you're missing out on. So let's get started. 10 horror movies for your viewing pleasure. Oh, you thought this was a hocus pocus type list? Nah, this one ain't gonna be easy to watch. The Wailing is a movie that doesn't let up. Once the mystery starts, the movie throws nothing but curveballs until the very last frame. If you think you've got this movie figured out, just wait 2 minutes and you'll see how wrong you are. Now, I was dying from carbon monoxide poisoning while watching this movie, so your viewing experience may differ. But there's no doubt The Wailing is an unforgettable trip. We follow a cop with a semi-dysfunctional family in rural South Korea. A string of bizarre murders and unexplainable phenomena lead our main character down a path of endless mysteries. With non-stop horrifying and unusual crimes, our protagonist's life is consumed by this case. And when the curse begins to strike close to home, he will put his faith in anything, even the dark arts, to save his family. There's no American movie that does what The Wailing does. It's such a different type of horror movie than we're used to seeing that the jarring nature only adds to the mystery. I don't want to talk about the suspects and unusual characters because it's all part of the ride, but just know that you're in for quite an experience with this one. You can't say you're in the Halloween spirit if you're not watching at least one zombie movie this month. And if that's the case, why not watch the best zombie movie there is? The thing with zombies is they kinda suck as a villain. I know, zombies are cool, don't bite me, just hear me out. Every zombie movie really struggles to keep the zomboids interesting. They're only really a threat in hordes, and they're really slow, and realistically, if you survive like the first month of a zombie apocalypse, you're probably good. But 28 days later, switch that notion up. These zombies don't meander. These hoes are moving like Derrick Henry. They will run your ass down. The best part about 28 Days Later isn't even the zombies. The true villains in this movie are the humans. Seeing what happens to people when they are stripped of all morality, the evil they will do to survive is horrifying, and it'll make you wish you had given in to the horde before they got to you. A trope I really hate in horror is bad acting and poor decision making. It's cheap and it gives this genre a bad reputation. So you'll notice in all my picks, the cast and performances are phenomenal. And that's no different here. A young Cillian Murphy gives an amazing performance as a lost survivor in a desolate London. And if you haven't seen this one yet, please give it a watch. You will not be disappointed.
On one particularly dark night, beneath an overturned half moon.
Okay, I'll be honest, the first two picks were a little intense. Let's calm things down. Horror doesn't have to be, horrifying. It can also be cozy and downright squashy. That's why my next pick is the coziest of all horror shows, Over the Garden Wall. I know this isn't technically a movie, but it's only 10 episodes and it comes in at under 2 hours, so it's basically a slightly long horror movie. I love this show. I watch it every fall, and it's perfect for getting into the Halloween mood. We follow Frodo and his brother Gregory as they embark on a misadventure into a strange land one Halloween night. From the animation to the characters to the comedy, this show is honestly perfect. I love everything about it, and it's great if you're in the mood for something spooky, but don't want your ears blasted with the screams of murder right before bed. No need to spoil the plot for this one. As it is a kid's show, the plot is fairly simple and easy to follow, but the atmosphere and overall vibe of the show are peak horror. Cut a slice of pumpkin pie and enjoy.
You are fearless.
Not all horror movies are created equally. Some are slashers, some are full of jump scares, some are existential, and some are just straight poetry in film form. Initially a bomb critically, I think people are coming around on The Village, giving it a second chance and realizing how great of a film it actually is. If you've been scared off by the negative stigma surrounding this movie, I encourage you to just see it for yourself. The Village is a horror movie disguised as a love story. It's basically two separate movies. The first half is very slice of life and a sort of melodramatic story about a want-to-be couple with a lot of underlying issues and history, and then suddenly the story is obliterated by a train moving at Mach 5 and the real movie starts. The imagery in this movie, my God, I know I said this already, but it's like watching a poem come to life. And not only that, it's also a mystery. All the elements and clues are there if you're looking closely enough for them. I would say go into this movie with your detective hat on. It's not an easy mystery to solve, so don't worry about spoiling it for yourself, because just when you think you figured out the truth of the movie, it peels back another layer. Also, this movie is perfect if you want to trick your girlfriend into thinking you're watching a romance. It's got a little something for everyone. Yeah, you're not tricking your girlfriend with this one. Children of Men might be the most depressing atmosphere ever squeezed into a screen. In a world where everyone has become infertile, governments begin to collapse, and the world falls into chaos as the end draws near. The population is plummeting, and everyone knows it. I love this apocalypse concept. No giant meteor butt blasting the earth into extinction, just a last, quiet, rasping breath as humanity slowly fades out of the universe. But don't think this movie is boring. Oh, no. Despite the plot being so depressing, this movie is filled with tense action and suspenseful moments. The world of Children of Men is a brutal one. Making it to a refuge is a perilous journey.
Don't make unnecessary journeys! Don't take risks on treacherous roads!
Also, the cinematography in this movie is incredible. You've definitely seen the car chase scene on TikTok at some point. The way the camera moves around the car makes the scenes feel so real, so alive. After the movie, check out the behind the scenes and see how they achieved it, because it's actually insane. But yeah, this is one of those movies that will keep you thinking about it all night long. I would say watch this with a friend just so you can discuss it afterwards. Thinking about this type of apocalypse and how you would deal with it mentally is an experience by itself. 10 out of 10, I'm gonna need some Prozac after this one.
You must bounce on it. Crazy style.
Oh, we're all jorking it after this movie. It was so hard to only put one Robert Eggers movie on this list. I can honestly just put them all and call it a day. However, they are all extremely weird and stylized movies, so I think for the average moviegoer, Nosferatu is the most digestible. Set in Victorian Germany, Nosferatu is about lust, love, forgiveness, and of course, vampires. Or vampire. I can't believe people were lusting over this creature. This one I can understand. God damn. Let me lock in. The visuals, oh my lord. I could watch these parts in the castle non-stop. This is what a vampire's lair should look like. Decrepit, ancient, unholy, unyielding. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of vampires as a genre. They're usually uninteresting to me, but this movie just does them right. This is truly a supernatural creature. His powers are unknowable. He influences the minds of others across vast distances, confounds the mind, and makes life a living nightmare you can't escape from. I know this movie won't be for everyone. This extremely stylized type of filmmaking is off-putting for some people, but for me, it's mesmerizing. I feel like I'm there when I'm watching this movie. The sets, the costume, the dialogue, it's all enthralling. If you're not scared of a little period piece, throw this one on and enjoy the ride. Would you believe me if I told you there was a horror comedy that actually worked, that wasn't cringe-inducing and managed to still be a good horror movie? Well, there is, and it's Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. I got some weird lore with this movie. Back in the day, me and my friends used to end our gaming sessions by watching bad horror movies together over Xbox Live. We watched raunchy stuff. Movies just shoved onto Netflix that were clearly terrible, things you wouldn't even pick up in the $1 bin at Walmart. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil seemed like just another one of those movies on the surface. It's got a goofy title and a silly superhero-esque poster, but despite all that, this movie is actually fire. It follows the basic premise of all teen horror movies. A group of friends go into the woods to be murdered. However, this movie is from the point of view of the killers. You guys can't see the script, but killers is in quotations. Because the killers are actually just two chill guys who just happen to live in the woods. I love the way this movie flips horror tropes on their heads and plays with what we expect from the horror genre. I really can't say too much about it without ruining the movie, but if you want a classic teen thriller with great kills and genuinely funny moments, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is the perfect pick for you. 2 words. Western cannibal movie. That's 3 words. 3 words, Western cannibal movie. Where do I even start? This movie is so perfect and so disturbing. I think this is the closest a movie has come to putting pure nature into a movie. And by that I mean how brutal nature can be. Your life is only important to you. To someone else, you're just a resource. You die, no one cares, and the world moves on. Your corpse is butchered and consumed. There's one kill in this movie that still haunts me to this day, just by how brutal, painful, and uncaring it is. Bone Tomahawk is truly disturbing, but at the same time, it's kind of a comfort watch. I know that makes no sense, but if you see it, you'll understand. The dialogue is so polite, that's the only word for it. The characters speak like they're at a saloon being introduced to each other over a glass of whiskey, not traveling around the desert of West Texas being picked off by cannibals. If you have the stomach for it, Bone Tomahawk is a 10 out of 10 experience you'll never forget. Just be warned, I know we're talking about horror here, but this movie is fucked up. It is so brutal, and just like there it is, witness death and sit with it. Everyone is walking meat waiting to become a corpse. I feel like I'm not selling the movie enough. Look, the genres of horror and westerns rarely cross paths, and I'm so glad they did here. You will never see another movie like this in your life. If you're a film fanatic, you've already seen this one, but if somehow you haven't, you are missing out. Watch it, experience it, worry about the therapy session later. And we're not slowing down. The Thing. Watch The Thing. Everyone and their German Shepherd tells you to watch this movie, but you actually should. This isn't like Friday the 13th or Evil Dead. This movie bangs. The Thing is actually my favorite horror movie. I know I just glazed 8 movies in a row, but this one is special. The more you think about this movie, the more unnerving it is. Imagine you can't trust the people around you, trapped together in a station in Antarctica with the same group of men for months, and then something happens and suddenly everything changes. They are no longer your friends, they are a threat. You're forced into isolation on the most isolated place there is. Contact, companionship, they're now risks. Will it be the thing that gets you first, or will it be the madness? The monster only has to wait. It knows you can't be alone forever. Eventually, you will seek each other out, just to exchange a few words or see another living face. And when you do, the thing will be there, perfectly imitating your friend until the two of you are alone, and then it will end you and become you. All to lure in the next person and the next until all that remains is the thing. Absolutely perfect movie, no notes, bring popcorn. I know, I already made a video about this one, but I cannot get enough of it. That's right, the last pick is Weapons, the creepypasta movie. I made a whole video about this one if you're interested, but it is full of spoilers, so don't watch until after you've seen the film. Weapons is a great example of a modern horror movie. It's dynamic with multiple character perspectives, it's refreshing with a totally unique plot, and interesting in the way it draws out the mystery, and it's grounding in the way its characters are so realistic. This movie could not have been made before now. You need a base of horror tropes under your belt to truly appreciate the movie. It's such a unique take on the horror genre, and I think everyone should see it. What's also great is that it's pretty easy to follow along, making it a great movie for a horror movie night with friends. The only issue I have, and my friends have expressed this as well, is the ending of the movie. It's not a bad ending, not at all. It's just a tonal shift compared to the rest of the film. It feels a little out of place. But I feel like it's a great way to end a movie if you're watching it on the couch with some buddies. It breaks the tension in a satisfying way and kind of brings you back to reality with a nice chuckle. Alright everyone, I'm done yapping. Enjoy the weather, crunch some leaves, maybe drop a little like for me if you enjoyed the video. See you next week. Ta-ta.